hab gehört, dass es da einen gibt, der macht sich im Netz ziemlich unbeliebt.
Hello, it's the first place in San Diego, and we are now in the Sea World. Hello, you can see that we are now waiting to see the show of the Shamu show, yeah.
Man fühlt sich gut dabei, doch man hat ihn erkannt, da war die Freundschaft vorbei. Auf der Seite zeigte sich vor weniger Zeit ein junges Mädchen, gern mal mit weniger Kleid. Das hat bald die ganze Schule gesehen, war wohl nicht so geplant, doch so kann es gehen. Schalt erst dein Hirn ein, dann dein DSL, macht keinen Mist, weil das geht schnell, auch im Netz, da bleibt man individuell, das ist die Realität, nur virtuell.
Das ist die Realität, nur virtuell.
So the way they do it is they have a kind of this strings, and these strings go into different part of the face. And these are the servomotors that move or push or pull the string. And these are basically those motors you can buy from the hobby store, like remote control RC cars or RC airplanes. So once this servo moves, it will pull the skin. I can show you. Look at the maybe here.
And going for further study overseas,
Okay.
so they want to learn something in advance to help them decide which university to go. Or
And what department are you in? Computer science? Computer science. Okay, very good. All right.
Called Rock My World. And so it's just a music recommendation platform, and we're using it to evaluate the playlist algorithms that are coming out of our research group. And so if you've ever seen things like Pandora or
Everybody's alright, everybody's inside, everybody's on you, and there's some Baru. Everybody's alright, everybody's inside, you're a chimpanzee from the Zimbabwe. Alright, baby. Everybody's alright, everybody's inside, everybody's on you, and there's some Baru.
It's an interesting problem to be able to have these cameras around campus, and much like Google Maps already has.
What is in the name? Qualcomm is quality communications. It stands for quality communications. Now, the COMM, the double M, if you can see it visually over there, it stands for all the waves that the cellular phones has. So when we were testing the cellulars, and if we had any activity and everything, so you'll see on the graphics how the graphics goes up and down, and that's what the MM stands for.
Do that chimpanzee from the Zimbabwe.
bus tour and
tour guide tell me that that is the biggest zoo in America, and then we'll first go to the Lost Forest, and then the most interested one, polar bear, and then the elephant, and then the African waltz, and then we will go to see the urban jungle. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Go.
Let's go.
So you might have to move over to a different position. And with this here, so you just move. Lost Forest.
In the jungle.
Yeah.
Yes, we are very
It's so hot here.
We're very excited.
Welcome in the house of fun. With lion, tiger, baby's got a better run. Shake a little harder with a big down. It's all you have to do.
Hello, I'm Julie. Now I'm having my dinner at extraordinary dessert, and I have ordered this one. I feel embarrassing you are here. Say again. And it's called Avocado Bread. Actually, I don't know what's its ingredient, but I just tried something I didn't know. It tastes very fresh. Enjoy. Bye.
Welcome, Nina Teeter Rock.
Max, how do you feel?
停低講話好玩。
喂，你哋呢15秒嘅相啊
Gino,
你哋呢
how do you feel?
好玩啊！好玩啊！
Please use English.
Very decent.
Tina, how do you feel?
I feel so dizzy. You can try it. You can try.
No, sorry.
Various spots in the universities and very tight actually. And we will spend the whole day here. Yeah!
Yeah, let's
Sich vor weniger
go.
Zeit ein junges Mädchen gern mal mit weniger Kleid. Das hat bald die ganze Schule gesehen, war wohl nicht so geplant, doch so kann es gehen. Schalt erst dein Hirn ein, dann dein DSL, mach keinen Mist, weil das geht schnell, auch im Netz, da bleibt man individuell, das ist die Realität, nur virtuell.
Actually, we saw a demo in UC San Diego where they can do it automatically as long as you have a large image bank of the thing that you want to recognize.
There's a program called LeafSnap that if you go to leafsnap.org, they're using a large database of leaf shapes, and they can do a little bit of analysis on the phone. But you have to take off a leaf, you put it on a white background, you take a picture of it, and the algorithm gives you a choice. They say, okay, it's probably this leaf, but it might be this leaf, it might be this species, it might be a different species. So it's kind of fun. So you might be interested in that as well.
Well, this may be a good project for them to be a final year project.
Too difficult.
And the cool thing about this is that there is a lot of applications to do research-wise. You can work on and apply things like Eric was talking about, and I mean by developing apps for phones, making products, little products, or you can work on theoretical questions to analyze these systems because they are new and these data are new. Does this make sense so far? Ja?
Auch im Netz, da bleibt man individuell, das ist die Realität.
User interface and graphics division are there. So in fact, one of our faculties last 2 years ago from ICT, so he's a research professor here, so he won the academy last year, 2 years ago. I don't know if you can go Avatar. So Avatar, the second half is all digitally done, and the digital part was done at USC. Okay. So that's why the person who did the Avatar, I think this brochure has. So basically, all the actors are done in this so-called light stage, and they take solid pictures of each actor, actress, and then basically they compose them digitally.
Floor. Okay, and what we want to study is how the building vibrates. So, as you know, earthquakes happen. Now, when earthquake happens, it does structural changes to the building. It causes damages. It shakes the building. We want to figure out how the building changes after an earthquake. Now, to do that, you need to know how the building was before an earthquake. Okay, so what we are trying to do right now is to deploy these devices. We want to find what are the fundamental frequencies, what are the fundamental responses to these different vibrations happening at the building. And from that, we'll figure out what's called different fundamental modes of the building. Once we find out, we can reference that post-earthquake for analysis, for example. That's one way, one type of study which can be done. There are many more type of studies which can be done. So, and on the other hand, we have a lot of sensors on the robot. So that's actually very cool. So we have laser scanners, which are here. Do you guys all know what laser scanners are? Okay, so we have one here, which is a tilting laser scanner. So basically, you can take point clouds with that. Point clouds meaning you just tilt the laser slowly from the bottom to the top or from the bottom to the top. And with every degree more tilt, you basically get a new slice in the world. And this looks kind of like a big point cloud then. On the other hand, we have a lot of cameras, as you can see here. So we have, this is a high precision camera, so it's a 5 megapixel camera. We're not using it that often because you can imagine the data throughput is immense with that. So we have no way to actually deal with that kind of amount of data right now. I mean, 5 megapixel, that's tremendous. We can maybe process 1 frame a second, which is definitely too slow for a real-time robotics application. But then we have 2 pairs of stereos here. So one is a wide and one is a narrow angle stereo camera, which have 640 times 480 resolution, which is much lower, and we can control them somewhat with 15 to 30 hertz. So which is reasonable. And then we have here a texture projector. So what you basically want to have in a robotic system or with the camera system, that's the reason why you always have 2 pairs, is you want to have stereo information. You want to have depth information. Okay?
So I'll try to give a quick demo, but this will be, we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is a robot, right? Has an arm, and it's a Barrett arm. Everybody anyone has seen that before? The Barrett arm? No? And there's a sensor head. Okay, so you have a high definition camera, a stereo camera system, and a 3D sensor, a Swiss Ranger. And you have two parallel pan tilt units. So we'll see the arm. You actually have seen it moving around. So this is part of a project that competes with other universities, with 5 other universities or institutes, and it's about grasping and manipulation. So half of it is grasping and half of it manipulation. For example, there will be a red orange paper on the table and an object like this, and the robot basically wakes up, has to look at the table, find the object, and figure out how to grasp it and put it on the orange paper. So here it's planning and trying to grasp it in an interesting way. So okay, let's see what happens.
Da bleibt man individuell, das ist die Realität. Nur virtuell. Das ist die Realität, nur virtuell.